जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदा नंदना जय ब्रज जन रंजना जय ब्रज जन रंजना। यमुना तीरावन चारे जय कुंज बिहारी। जय यमुना तीरावन चारे जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमती मजवाइन ग्रेस श्रील अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की। इस्कॉन विपुट संस्थापक आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सर ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की दाई गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshtarane. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to speak on the occasion of Narsimha Chaturdasi. Jai Narsimha Bhagavan ki! So normally in India, by this time Narsimha Dev would appear, but in Houston, sunset is around 8 o'clock. So we are awaiting Lord Narsimha Dev's descent. So I'll just speak briefly on the Narsimha Arti. Everyone is familiar with the Narsimha Arti. Namaste Narsimhaya Praladala Dadaine. So the first two lines, Jai Shri Radha Nil Madhav Bhagwan ki. They glorify Lord Narsimha Dev as the Supreme Lord who gives pleasure to Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Ahlad. So, the 7th canto Bhagavatam, in the series of topics of the 12 cantos of Bhagavatam, Yatra Sarga Visargascha Sthanam Poshanam Utaya Manvantara Ishanukata Nirodha Mukti Rashreya. So these are the 10 topics of Bhagavatam: creation, subcreation, Sarga Visarga, Sthanam is how the living entity in different circumstances tries to enjoy pleasure in this world and then gets frustrated. Poshanam is how the Lord gives special nourishment and protection to the jiva when he practices bhakti, and that is in the 6th canto. So the 7th canto describes Utaya. So what is the topic of Uti? Uti basically means Shubh Ashubh Ichha. So 10th canto, there are 15 chapters. First 10 chapters consist of Prahlad Maharaj pastime with Hiranyakashipu and Narsimha Dev intervening. So Hiranyakashipu represent Ashubh Ichha, inauspicious desire, and Prahlad Maharaj represent Shubh Ichha, pure desire. So the whole idea of the 7th canto is how we should desire like Prahlad and not desire like Hiranyakashipu. So many times on Narsimha Chaturdasi festival in the previous years when I would speak, and you start speaking serially from first chapter. So around till 6 chapters, it is only Hiranyakashipu's atrocities. So practically 80% of the lecture become very negative. And then finally, Narsimha Dev appears, and then Prahlad Maharaj's various pastimes with his schoolmates and all are there. But the whole idea is Shubh Ashubh Ichha. So therefore Uti means that which rises up. So therefore these desires rise up, and so the conditioned soul is inspired to desire like Prahlad, because every soul is seeking bliss. And therefore Prakrishta Rupena Ahlad, one who is perfectly blissful, is Prahlad. Nodvigna Chitto Vyasaneshu Nispriha Shruteshu Drishteshu Guneshu Avastudrik. So Prahlad Maharaj is described as Na Udvigna Chitta. Because he has taken complete shelter of Lord Krishna and he is seeing Krishna everywhere. And therefore he is completely fearless. He is unaffected by any threat or any danger. Vyasaneshu Nispriha Shruteshu Drishteshu. He is detached from any kind of sense gratification. He is not attached to any sense objects. Dantendriya prana sharira dhisada. Why? Because he has controlled his senses completely. And therefore he is prashanta kamo. He is devoid of all lusty desires. And therefore Prahlad Maharaj is described as Rahita Asura Sura. Although he is born in an Asura dynasty, he is devoid of asura qualities, he is considered to be the best amongst the divine. So therefore, Prahlad Maharaj represents the consciousness by which one can remain blissful. And that is by avoiding material desires and by embracing spiritual desires. And so, here in the first line of this Narsimha Arti it is described, Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Ahlad Dadaine. One who gives pleasure to Prahlad, and Prahlad also is there to receive that pleasure because he is constantly absorbed in thoughts of the Lord. Like that. Prabhupada went to London, and then one reporter asked him, "Why have you come to London?" And Srila Prabhupada immediately replied, "Last 300, 400 years, the British have been stealing so many things from India. They stole the rubies, emeralds, jewels, this, that. They forgot to steal one thing, Bhagavad Gita, that I have come to give." And from that time onwards, in the last 50 years, ISKCON has distributed more than 500 million Bhagavad Gitas all over the world. Right? I was telling last time, I was trying to give Gita to one gentleman in India in the local train. And then he's challenging me and saying, "Are you giving for free?" I said, "No, this is for 70 rupees. He said, "Krishna spoke Gita to Arjuna free. Why you are charging?" I said, "Where did he speak?" "Kurukshetra. This is Mumbai. 70 rupees is transport charge." So even in India, you will find that people have so many questions on why we should follow the Gita, why we should follow spiritual life. So the word Prahlad basically means, if anyone is looking for the formula how to be blissful and happy, this is the way. Don't follow the father, follow the son. And that is Prahlad. And therefore, this is a very important point to be considered. And the Srimad Bhagavatam, right from first canto to 12th canto, they contain pastimes of different devotees who follow in the footsteps of Sri Prahlad by accepting Krishna's lotus feet as their ultimate shelter and giving up all other kinds of sense gratification. Bhukta bhoga parityakta drishta dosha cha nityasha na ishvarasya ashubham datte swe mahimni stitasya cha. So when one gives up all kinds of desires for sense gratification, seeing the fault in that, drishta dosha, seeing the fault that I am aspiring for pleasure through this, but it is only giving me distress. So therefore, bhukta bhoga parityakta, giving up all hopes for sense gratification. Swe mahimni stitasya cha. Then the soul experiences the real joy, the real bliss, the real glory is attained and experienced by the soul. Like that. So therefore, that is described here. So in the next verse it is described, Hiranyakashipu vakshaha shilatanka na khalai. So Hiranyakashipu, he is so powerful, so strong. Why? Because as a result of his austerities, he pleased Lord Brahma and took benedictions from him. And as a result of Lord Brahma's benedictions, his chest has become just like steel, like falad, steel, and like a stone, right? So, strong stone, you can't penetrate. And so only Lord Narasimha's beautiful nails could penetrate that. Na khalaye, shilatanka na khalaye. So what is Hiranyakashipu's situation here? He represents Ashubh Ichha. So ittam nirjita kakop ekaran vishayan priyan yathopajosham bhunjano na atripyat ajitendriya. So Hiranyakashipu through his austerities manages to conquer over the 14 planetary systems. All demigods come under his control. He is the Ekarat. He is the one supreme controller. All sense objects are available to him as he wishes to enjoy. So one may think, oh, he made it in life. He must be blissful. Yathopajosham bhunjano. He can enjoy any pleasure as he likes, but nat tripyat ajitendriya. His situation is described as total dissatisfaction and distress. Why? Ajitendriya. Because his senses are not in control. So therefore, Hiranyakashipu represents ashubh ichha, inauspicious desire, selfish desire for sense enjoyment, and the result of that is one will never experience the joy as one expects. It will only be frustration. So many years ago, our Dinbandhu Prabhu tells the story, in San Francisco they had organized Narsimha Chaturdasi in the late 60s. And they had offered a carob cake to Lord Narasimha Dev. And everyone's eyes was, attracted to that. And after the arati, they were sitting down for prasad with great expectation, after a whole day fasting. And the first devotee caught hold of that one piece of cake, and he placed it in his mouth with great hope. The cook had made a mistake, forgot to add sugar in the cake. So the cake tasted horrible. But when you are expecting something pleasurable for a very long period of time and you are meditating on it, and when it doesn't taste as good, the first response is denial. So he kept looking at it with great shock. That I thought this is going to give me so much pleasure. How can it give me so much pain? And so he kept it down, started eating rice and dal, but kept looking at it with hope. And then he thought, probably my timing was not right. Something was not right. He picked it up again and tried. Can the taste change? The ingredient which is supposed to give sweetness is not there. So how can it give sweetness? And therefore, it is described that this material world is a place of misery. And at every moment there is misery. Shrutam cha drishtavata dushtam spardha asuya atyaya vyayai. That whatever we have gone through experience in one place, similar experience will repeat. Krishivat chapi nishphalam. So one should not expect pleasure within this material world, because it is designed to give distress. It is designed to give misery. And so Prabhupada took this message and went to the West, and when he came back to India, he's sitting on Juhu on the top of the terrace, and a lot of businessmen are sitting in front of him, and one very big businessman, Mr. Brij Ratan Mohta, walks in. Prabhupada introduces him to others. This is Mr. Mohtaji, a very big businessman. So Mohtaji looks at Prabhupada and says, Prabhupada, you went to America with 40 rupees, now you have, property all over the world, worth 400 million. So you are the real businessman. So Prabhupada looks at him and says, why don't you join my business then? So he says, oh, not now. So Prabhupada said, okay, wherever you are, assist me in establishing this, temple here in Mumbai. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this power to everyone through his Sankirtan movement. Ghare Krishna bhaji more koro ashirvade. Nilachale asiyana tomar prasade. Mahaprabhu tells Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, you are a grahastha, you give me blessings so that I can come back to Jagannath Puri after the South India tour. So Prabhupada says, how is sannyasi asking blessings from grahastha? But that's what Mahaprabhu has given the power. That if someone sincerely practices Krishna consciousness and worships Krishna, he is empowered. And therefore, it is described here that although Hiranyakashipu had every possible pleasure available, his experience was not that of joy. His experience was that of misery and frustration. And so, that false ego, which is hard like stone, can only be ripped apart by the sharp nails of Lord Narasimha Dev. The reason I chose this topic, heart surgery, is in Bhaktivedanta Hospital in our, operation theatre. They have a photo of Lord Narasimha Dev. So one time, one patient, before going to anesthesia, before the surgery, he looked at that and got shocked. And he asked the doctor, who was devotee, "Hey, what is going on in this photo? Who is this and what is he doing?" So the doctor was a devotee. He thought, okay, good opportunity to preach. So he told him, "This is the first surgery in history." So he asked, "Doctor, what was the result of that surgery?" He said, "Surgery was successful, patient was liberated." So therefore, Shilatanka na khalaye ito narsinga parato narsinga yato yato yami tato narsinga. So Lord Narsimha Dev is everywhere, his access is everywhere. If we want to become humble, we can see the Lord anywhere and everywhere. If we want to express our greatness, that opportunity like Hiranyakashipu we will find everywhere. So therefore Hiranyakashipu's demand was to Lord Brahma, Yadi dasasya vimatan varan me varadottama, bhutebhya visrishtebhya mrityurmabu, may not be killed, antar bahir divanaktam manyasmat apicha, nor inside nor outside, nor in the sky nor on the ground, not by any weapons alive or dead, not by any millions of species created by you. So the nature of false ego is also like that. False ego cannot be destroyed inside, outside, up or down, in daytime or night time, anytime. And no material education and no material weapon can destroy it. The only way it can be destroyed is by the Lord's intervention. And the Lord is present everywhere. Ito narsingo, parato narsingo, yato yato yami, tato narsingo. So we can access the Lord anywhere and, request Him to manifest. And therefore Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has allowed us that access by giving us the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has inaugurated this Harinam. Keh nache keh gaye Sri Krishna Gopal premete bhasir lokastri vruddha abal. That anyone can participate in the chanting of the holy name irrespective of whatever age, whatever gender, whatever background. And when this Harinam Sankirtan began, inaugurated at Alarnath, Lord Nityananda Prabhu looked at Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along with others, chanting this holy name, and Nityananda Prabhu predicted, Dekhi Nityananda Prabhu kahe bhakta gane, ei rupe nritya aage hobe, grame grame. Nityananda Prabhu said, this Harinam Sankirtan will spread in every town and village and come to Houston also. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated this in Alarnath and thus gave opportunity to anyone to experience counteraction of the false ego, because through the holy name we are chanting, please engage me in your service. Please make me a servant. And therefore Lord Narsimha Dev manifests his mercy through his devotees. And so Saraswati Thakur said that the Yuga Dharma for this age is Vaishnava Seva. Because by serving the Vaishnavas, we actually experience that humility. And we are able to overcome the influence of the false ego. And therefore, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsingo. Lord Narsimha Dev is everywhere. Similarly, the opportunity for Vaishnava Seva and opportunity to serve is everywhere, irrespective of wherever we may be. Because if a person is hungry, he finds food somehow or the other. And similarly, if one is hungry for service, he finds that. So therefore, that's very important. One of our devotee builders was just becoming devotee in Krishna consciousness, big businessman. So he approached his father and said, I was chanting the Harinam and I got some indication that some shares in which we are investing, it's going to be in trouble. We should sell off those shares. So father said, hey, why you are saying like that? I don't see any indication. He said, no, I am chanting Harinam, so I am getting that. Father said, stop chanting. He says, no, I am convinced. So he went to his portfolio manager in HSBC, told him, these company shares, you sell it off. He said, I am MBA finance, I don't see any problem. Why you are having this? From where you are getting this idea? He said, I am chanting holy name, so I am getting some indication. So he said, I think you are gone crazy. He says, no, it is my money, I am telling you, sell them. So he sold out those shares. In 1 week, the Lehman Brothers crashed. And the whole world went through an economic collapse. And this family, because they sold those shares, they saved $2 million. Father called the son and said, chant more. This portfolio manager, he called him and said, hey, what is that mantra you were talking about? I didn't study in MBA. Looks like a very special intervention. And he left his job and then he took a PhD and now is, initiated. So through this satsanga. So therefore Narottam Das Thakur says, satsanga chhade koino asate bilas te karane lagilu ye karma bandha bhas. That as soon as one feels my false ego is being severely hammered in the association, so I should leave the association for some time. As soon as one leaves the association, satsanga chhade kaino asate vilas. One will indulge in asat or sense gratification. And te karane lagilu ye karma bandha bhas. One will be caught again by the influence of karma bandhan. So therefore, bahye narsingo, hridaye narsingo, Narasimha madim sharanam prapadye. So Lord Narsingadev is outside and inside. And in this way, Lord Narsingadev is giving us opportunity to take his shelter at every moment. And so, sharanam prapadye is a very important word, which means that one need to take shelter. Bhagavad bhaktita sarvam iti utsrijya vidherapi. Sharanagati or shelter means to accept Krishna as all in all. Second, to accept the path of bhakti. And third, if anything impedes in the path of bhakti, we are willing to give it up. And so when Vibhishan gives up the shelter of Ravana and jumps across and comes to Sri Ram, so at that time he is accompanied by 4 associates. And these 4 associates of Vibhishana represent the 4 aspects of Sharanagati or surrender. So the first aspect is Akinchanatvam. Akinchanatvam means I possess nothing. Second is Ananyagatitvam. I have nowhere to go. Third is Saralta. The Lord is so simple that he doesn't judge anybody, he accepts anyone and gives shelter. And fourth is Shakti. The Lord doesn't fear. However sinful some may be, the Lord is willing to give Sharanagati. So these 4 are the aspects of Sharanagati. And so he says, Narasimham adim sharanam prapadye. I accept shelter of Lord Narsingadev because he is the only person, the Supreme Lord, who can offer shelter like this. And so he is glorified as Tava Kara Kamala Vare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam. So Lord Narsingadev is so powerful that he catches hold of Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyakashipu is challenging Prahlad. Yes, Tvayamanda Bhagyokto Madanyo Jagadishvara Kvasa Vidisa Sarvatra Kasmat Stambhena Drishyate. You are saying that your Lord is everywhere. Is he there in this pillar? Right? And what was the irritation of Hiranyakashipu is described in this word. The psychology of Hiranyakashipu is described here. Why he became so irritated? Yes, Tvaya Manda Bhagyokto. Oh Prahlad, you are so unfortunate. Why are you so unfortunate? You can't recognize my glory. That's why you are so unfortunate. Madanyo Jagadishvara, apart from me, you are glorifying somebody else as supreme. Can there be any other controller beyond me? That is the voice, that is the scream of the false ego. Mad Anyo Jagadishvara. How can someone else be more special than me? Kvasa yadisa sarvatra kasmat stambhena drishyate. And therefore, in order to demolish that false ego, Lord Narsingadev manifests. And then he places Hiranyakashipu on his lap, and with his nails, which is neither living nor dead, at the doorstep, which is neither outside nor inside, at twilight, which is neither day nor night, on his lap, which is neither in the sky nor on the ground. Lord Narsimha, he rips apart Hiranyakashipu's abdomen and takes out his entrails and puts it around his neck because he sees nobody is there to garland me. So he arranges his own garland. And in this way, Lord Narsimha demonstrates that the conditioned soul has been carrying this false ego for millions of lifetimes, and there is no hope we have. The only hope we have is when Lord Narsimha enters through the stone-like covering of anarthas and then ultimately rips that false ego apart. And then he somehow or the other purifies our intentions, purifies our desires, and we are able to actually experience the real reciprocation with the Lord. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada so mercifully has given us this association of devotees, and this Sangha of devotees actually gives us hope and shelter. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. A family which prays together stays together. Right? I was giving a lecture at Ohio in Athens, and I was talking to an American boy. He was speaking to me in Hindi. I was shocked. I said, "Are you American?" He said, "No." He said, "I'm American." I said, "How you are speaking Hindi?" So he said, "I was growing up, and when I was 17 years old, I asked my dad, 'You gave me everything in life, but you didn't give me the, experience of a family because you were divorced. And I grew up alone. So I want to experience family.' So he came to Varanasi. His father said, 'Go to Varanasi.' So he went to Varanasi, went to one house and told, 'Please allow me to stay in your house and experience what is family. I want to experience the culture of family. And if you allow me to stay with you for 2 years, I'll give you every month 1 lakh rupees.' The family said, 'Stay forever.' 'Why only 2 years?' Said, 'If you have other friends, also bring them. We want to share this experience with all.' So therefore, Prabhupada has given us Krishna conscious philosophy, but only philosophy is like nectar, and culture is like the pot in which the nectar can be stored. So without the proper Vaishnava culture, the Vaishnava relationships, and the dealings, and the whole, culture surrounding family with Krishna consciousness, it's practically impossible for anyone to practice Krishna consciousness for life. And therefore, on this occasion of Lord Narsimha's appearance, we pray at the lotus feet of Lord Narsimha and Sri Prahlad to give us the intelligence to practice Krishna consciousness with dedication throughout our whole life. And please, Srila Prabhupada and his devotees. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I was told till 8 o'clock, so I'm on time.